Love Letters from Lincoln podcast. If you can tell by my demeanor and my tone today, I'm so tired. I fear I'm on another path to burnout, but I'm not going to sit here and wallow in it, you know? I have another Coke Zero with me today with raspberry syrup and lime. Just now realizing that I forgot the on air sign again, but that's okay. Before we get into the episode today, guys, I do want to just shout myself out a little bit and let you guys know that my merch is available. Last week I was wearing the pink crew neck. This week I'm wearing my white one. I'm obsessed with these crew necks, you guys. They don't shrink too much. They mostly stay true to size. I wear a size large for an oversized fit. Comfiest sweatshirt ever. You guys need one. Go to the link in my Instagram bio to find your merch. It is, or if you don't want to go to my Instagram, it's literally just Love Letters from Lakin. Love Letters from oh my god. lovelettersfromlakin.com. Yeah. And then click shop merch. I'm super excited. You guys need to go get yours. It's super girly and cute. It's very comfy. Yeah, there's still some available. And if you order now, they will come in time for Valentine's Day. So make sure you guys do that. Let's get into the episode. I honestly am not really in the mood to do like a whole weekly report today, but I feel like I do need to go over just a few things. Releasing The Crash by Frida McFadden came out today. I need to get into that, but I am not ready for a thriller just yet this year. Experiencing the two Bs, burnout and boredom. That is what we're experiencing lately. I don't know. I just think that I guess I'm not really bored. It's more like I feel like I'm living the same day every day during the weeks. And of course, the merch drop and everything has been super exciting and has been keeping me on my toes, keeping me busy, but I'm sort of feeling just kind of lacking in the creative department, basically. Planning on watching The Bachelor is back, you guys. I watched the first episode last night. I am loving this season so far already. Grant seems like such a good soul. He seems like just such a good man, you know? And I'm loving some of the ladies so far. My favorite is Bailey. She is this cutie little girl, little woman, I guess, who has a bob. Her name is Bailey Taylor Brown. She has the cutest bob on her, and she's a social media manager. And she has just the cutest energy. I was obsessed with her from the start. She's so funny. Go watch if you guys haven't already. I don't know if any of you watch The Bachelor, but I love The Bachelor. My favorite Bachelor show in specific is Bachelor in Paradise, but they didn't do one last year. I think they're going to do one this year. Because after they started The Golden Bachelor, it's like, okay, there's too many things going on. And so they didn't do Bachelor in Paradise last year, which makes me really sad because that's literally my favorite. I am sniffly today. Who would have guessed? And I literally did like my nasal spray, my new prescribed allergy meds, although maybe those haven't really started working yet. Anyways, one of my favorite Bachelor couples just actually broke up like a week ago. Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell. They were together for years, you guys, and then Matt just like suddenly dropped this Instagram bomb on us and was like, please pray for us while Rachel and I navigate our broken hearts. And we're all like, what? And apparently she was blindsided by that post. So anyways, she is going on Call Her Daddy, or she went on Call Her Daddy podcast, which is actually out today. And I guess she's gonna do a little tell-all or explain to us what happened. I don't know. I'm super excited for that, though. I was like, I never listened to Call Her Daddy podcast, but when she had Hailey Bieber on, and now that she's having Rachel on, I'm listening. Okay. Where was I? Obsessing. Honestly, I've kind of been just obsessing over like, okay, how can I get out of this burnout? Like just obsessively thinking, how can I get out of this burnout? How can I make more money this year? What new trips can I take this year? Kind of just like obsessing a little too much about the future when I should be kind of I should be just living the present. I've been struggling a little bit with just kind of trying to plan out my year. And God, why is it still January? Like, it feels like January has lasted a whole decade. It always feels that way. But yeah, kind of just obsessing over what I can do this year differently, what I can do to improve and make this year the best yet. So that's kind of been my constant stream of thoughts lately. Reading, okay, I finished my Iron Flame reread. I will say, wait, did I finish it last week when I told you guys this? Wait, hang on. Let me look because I don't want to say the same thing. Last week was pod number 27, right? I think I deleted my notes for it. Anyways, I'm sorry if you're hearing this twice, but I think I did like Iron Flame better on the second reread, but I mainly just, you guys know, I mainly just reread it for information. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, as I've started my Onyx Storm read, and this is no spoilers, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but I'm still confused even though I just finished Iron Flame a few days ago. Why are we confused, Rebecca? Like, what's going on? Rebecca Yaros, not Rebecca, my boss. But I'm enjoying it so far. I think the first few chapters I was thoroughly confused, had no idea what was going on. And I won't lie and say that I'm not still a little bit confused, but I think I kind of have a grip on, like, okay, I see where we're going now. If I finish Onyx Storm before Saturday, that'll be my 5th book this year so far, and then my 5th book in January. Don't know if that's going to happen or not. We are starting a book club read on Saturday, February 1st, so I'm trying to finish it before then just so I can be fully immersed in that one. Treating, I recently just treated myself to an original or out of print edition of Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas and Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I get all of my like OG editions and out of print editions from Pango Books. This is not sponsored. God, I wish I was sponsored by some sort of book company. But I love Pango Books. They have new and reused books for basically like cheap, like pretty cheap. There's some pretty cheap ones on there. I will say with out of print editions, they do get kind of pricey. You kind of just have to search and check back every day. I finally found a good price for Air of Fire. Also, it never hurts to message the seller and be like, hey, would you take this for $10 cheaper? Most of the time they say yes. They said yes for all of my out of print editions that I already have. So treating myself with that. Yeah, other than that, I'm trying not to spend too much money because I do have a lot of trips I want to get to this year. Yeah, I think that honestly is it for updates. Like I said, I just don't really feel like updating y'all this week. I'm sorry, but there's so much going on in my brain and I'm not ready to articulate it yet. So you'll have to stay tuned for my word vomit. I do want to quickly mention that my Onyx Storm Deluxe Edition from Barnes & Noble got delayed 4 more times before it actually came. It just came yesterday. And I'm recording this on Tuesday, the 28th. Yeah, yesterday was Monday, the 27th. It was supposed to be here like a week ago. So, there's that, but she finally came. It's honestly fine because I don't plan on actually holding the physical copy and reading it. I plan on reading most of it on my Kindle. Oh, I forgot to turn my computer on Do Not Disturb, and so I'm getting texts, and it's distracting me. Yeah. Okay. I really don't have any other updates for you guys. I don't have any funny stories this week. I'm sorry. Let's get into the Q&A portion of this episode. I got so many questions from you guys, actually. It's making me really excited. So let's see what the first ones are. I don't know what I want to list first. Okay, first one, favorite movies. And I'm glad you asked this because I have a list of my top 10 favorite movies. And listen, this is subject to change. This changes often. This is basically like, yes, top 10 favorite movies of all time. But I also have like honorable mentions, which I won't be saying today. But these are kind of what, when I think of 10 movies that I constantly think about that are like I will always go back to over and over again, it's these 10. Okay? And these are in no particular order. Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. I mean, that's a given. Beautiful Boy. That movie crushed me the first time I ever saw it. I I actually think it's emotional torture to rewatch that movie. Dead Poet Society. Ugh. Whiplash. What do y'all know about Whiplash? Someone like let me know if you know about Whiplash. I love that movie. Pride and Prejudice. Obviously. The one with Keira Knightley. The Corpse Bride. Guys, The Corpse Bride is like my favorite movie ever. I don't know what it is. I love Tim Burton. That's a Tim Burton film, right? Can you imagine if it's not? Wait. The Corpse Bride. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm not done. The Hunger Games Catching Fire. I mean, that is so self-explanatory. That movie is so good. I don't think anything can top the cinematic like vibe, like feel of that movie. It is perfect. Everything was delivered perfectly. It is hard to make a good book adaptation into a movie. Catching Fire did it. As I'm reading through some of these, I'm like, okay, a couple of these could maybe be changed. Interstellar. I mean, you guys know, if you listen to my episode like a month or two ago of me talking about how I first watched it, I still think about it every day since. The Sandlot. The Sandlot, that is a classic. I watched it growing up all the time. Great movie. Funny, moving. I love a good moving movie, you know? This last one, Sabrina with Audrey Hepburn. I love that movie. But I wouldn't say it's in my top 10 anymore. I think it's probably moved on. I love Audrey Hepburn. I've seen mostly all of her movies. Love her. I also want to add honorable mentions. The literal original Anne of Green Gables movies from like, how long ago were those even released? Anne of Green Gables. Jeez, the books were originally published in 1908. Anne of Green Gables original movies. 1985. Okay, I'm obsessed with these movies. I don't know, my grandma played them for us every time we would come over when we were young. These movies changed my life. I think about them all the time. And there's so many, I think. How many are there? See also. Yeah, there's a bunch. Okay. Anyways, I would add those as an honorable mention. Other honorable mentions, Raya and the Last Dragon. That's a Disney princess movie, I think. That one is just so good. I just watched that recently for the first time. Hercules, I love Hercules. There's so many good ones that I'm probably missing. Oh, Mona Lisa Smile. I think I'm going to add that to my top 10. That's a really good movie. Go check that one out. Just go look it up. I'm not even going to explain because I also don't really have time to explain today. Okay, those are my fave movies. Will there be more merch in the future? Yes. Hopefully. We'll see how much of this y'all buy because we haven't sold out of the crew necks, so definitely go pick one up if you haven't already. But I don't know. We'll just see what the future holds. I would love to do more. I would love to do more and do other things than just sweatshirts. What are your favorite TV shows? Vampire Diaries, Gilmore Girls, The 100. I'm missing so many things. Sex and the City, Gossip Girl. All the classics, you know, The OC, I'm loving that one right now. One Tree Hill, oh my gosh. One Tree Hill is probably my favorite, like, drama TV show, to be honest with you guys. That's one I go back to over and over and over again. Love Friends, love The Office. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm a simple lady. Do you have any favorite female actresses? That's a good question. Because I never really sit and think about that. I love Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, she's the best. I'm so bad at thinking of people off the top of my head. I should have looked through some of these questions. I did not look through all of them and I didn't write down any answers because I wanted it to kind of be like on the spot. I love Audrey Hepburn. Y'all, I know I'm gonna remember so many after this. Sorry, I'm gonna have to move on from that. Would you still love me if I were a worm? Yes, I would. What concerts have you been to? I love this. Okay. I've seen Taylor Swift 5 times. I saw her on the Red Tour, the 1989 tour, the Reputation tour, or has it been 4 times? Red Tour, 1989, Reputation, Eras. Am I missing one? Red, 1989, Reputation, Eras. 4 times. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've seen her 4 times. I've seen Madison Beer once. I've seen the Driver Era, which is Ross Lynch's band. I've seen them twice. Seeing them again this summer. I've seen Ed Sheeran a couple times. I have seen Phoebe Bridgers. I've seen Wallows. Love them. Who else have I seen? I used to be quite the concert goer, to be honest with you, but then it got way too expensive to do all that. Mm. Mm. Oh my gosh, Sabrina Carpenter, I saw her on the emails I can't send to her. And that was before, like right before she blew up a little bit. And we were like front row. Oh my gosh, if I could go back to that time. Favorite singer. I love Taylor Swift. I love Ariana Grande. I love Madison Beer. I'm a very pop girl. Sabrina. I love Phoebe Bridgers. I love Boy Genius. But I also love like role model. What I love Lana Del Rey. I love Gracie Abrams, obviously. I love. Let me just look at my music, actually. I can't even lie to you guys. I'm a frequent musical listener. I love to listen to musical soundtracks. Oh, I love Lizzie McAlpine. I love SZA. I love Georgia Smith. Love me some Tori Kelly, honestly. I love Tyler the Creator. I love Charlie XCX, The Driver Era. Um, Noah Kahn, I've been getting into. Love him. Love his stuff. I love Maisie Peters. I love Lennon Stella. Gosh, guys, there's so many. I love music. I'm a big music fan. Okay. Favorite male actors? Is it cliche for me to say Timothy Chalamet because that man can act? Let's do. Are you going to any concerts this year? Yes, I'm going to the Driver Era. And then my sister and I were kind of looking at this music festival called Hinderland or something. And the headliners are Tyler the Creator, Casey Musgraves, and Lana Del Rey. We're kind of looking at that. My main thing is I really would love to see Madison Beer again, so I'm kind of just waiting to see if she announces a tour anytime soon. Favorite Disney princess? I think since I was little, it's always been Cinderella. I don't know why. I just think she's like the start of Disney princesses to me. Yeah. If you lived in a world with dragons, what 3 things would you want to have at all times? So like my friend Maddie asked this question. I think she's referring to if I lived in one of my dragon books, what 3 things would I want to have at all times? Um, I would always want my leathers. Obviously, if you have a dragon, you gotta have your riding leathers ready for you. I'd probably also want like flight goggles or like a hair tie if I'm gonna be in the air. And then I'd also want I think they call it a conduit that helps them manifest their power. I'd probably want that with me at all times. Good question, Maddie. If you could choose to be in one of your book worlds, which would you choose and why? What a great question. Okay. So I think I'm gonna do 2 answers. One for more of my like contemporary romance books and then one for my fantasy books. So my fantasy books, ugh, I mean, I would love to live in Valaris, which is from A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I would love to live in the Night Court in Valaris, the most beautiful place ever. If you don't know what that is, definitely look it up. Um, I would choose that because my favorite characters live there. It's a city full of art and lights and just beauty and love, and I want to be there. And the stars, oh, attending this like the starfall every year would be so fun when the stars like fall from the sky. That would be perfect. Now, from my contemporary romance, I would either say I would want to live in the, what's it called? What is Elsie Silver's, her Flawless series? Chestnut Springs. I would love to live in Chestnut Springs because they live on these sprawling, like, acres, ranches. They have horses and all that. And I don't really consider myself a country girl, but I would love to live on that much land, and have animals on a big house. Or I would love to live in the Magnolia Parks universe in London. I think that would be beautiful and fun. What would you say to younger you? I would say, oh my gosh, wow, what a big question. I would say to always dream big. Don't let anything or anyone around you tell you that your dreams aren't possible. Um, I would tell her that she's gonna be okay because even, younger me was so full of anxiety that was undiagnosed and I didn't know where to put it or how to get rid of it. I would tell her you're gonna be okay. There's nothing to worry about, honestly. Fave fictional characters ever? Oh, that's such a hard question because I have so many. Rowan from Throne of Glass, Rhysand and Nesta from the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Um, Daisy Hates from Magnolia Park series. Let me think. Hi, Toby. Oh my gosh. Joey and Aoife from Binding 13. Those, oh my gosh, I love Joey so much. Yeah, I think those off the top of my head are, oh, you know what? I also love Reich Meadows from the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. Love him. He's so funny. Your Grammy predictions / who's going to get album of the year. Okay, I'm not the right person to ask about this because all of my faves are up for album of the year this year. Let me look up the predictions or the album of the year nominees. Hey, Toby. Album of the year nominees. Okay. Cowboy Carter, New Blue Sun, Jesse Volume 4, Short and Sweet, Torture Poets Department, Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, Brat, and Hit Me Hard and Soft. That is so hard. So here's the thing. I would love for... This is so hard. Because here's the thing. I would love for Short and Sweet, Torture Poets, Brat, or Hit Me Hard and Soft to win. Like, I would love any of those to win. Unfortunately, I just feel like either Taylor or Billy are going to take it because that tends to happen, I think the Academy always goes a certain way and they don't really sway from their choices or their patterns. So I think that Torture Poets or Hit Me Hard and Soft will win. Now, let's see what Record of the Year nominees are. The year nominees. Fortnite, Taylor Swift, Birds of a Feather, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, 360, Charlie XCX, oh my gosh, Now and Then the Beatles, Good Luck Babe, Chapel, Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter, Texas Hold'em. This is so hard because this was such an incredible year for music and everyone put something out. All of my faves put something out. This one is gonna be crazy. Okay, here's what I think. Espresso was a huge hit. I honestly think Sabrina has a huge chance of doing this because Espresso was everywhere. It was in everything. It's in commercials. It's in campaigns. It was on SNL. Like, nobody was doing it like Espresso, I honestly think she has a really, really great chance. I love 360. I think it'd be so cool if she won, but I think, in my mind, Charlie XCX is huge, but she's not huge like Taylor, like Fortnite or Espresso, I think. Not Like Us was a big deal, but again, I just don't think that's gonna win. Birds of a Feather was also really huge. Fortnite, Birds of a Feather, and Espresso, I think, have the best shot at winning Record of the Year. Okay. What made you want to create your Instagram into a Bookstagram account? I love this question because I wouldn't necessarily call my Instagram a Bookstagram account. It's more of just like lifestyle with books thrown in, but I've been drawn, or like people from the book community have almost been drawn to me, which I don't want that to sound like, oh my God, they just love me and they're flocking to me. It's more like I just started posting organically what I loved, and most of that includes reading, and people started following me for it. And it's such a cool thing because I have made so many friends on Bookstagram over the past year. And I consider them honestly some of my closest friends because of just how often we talk. So, I don't know. I really just started posting organically what I love, and a huge part of what I love and a huge part of my life is reading and is books. Who and what are your favorite or your biggest fashion inspirations? My biggest fashion inspirations will always be Emma Chamberlain. She's the blueprint. I mean, we grew up with her. I love that girl so much. She inspires me in so many different ways. I would also say, though, Hailey Bieber. I love just like the chill, casual look, but with staple pieces in your closet that kind of elevate, you know, because even like Emma Chamberlain, she used to wear like a white tank top and a pair of jeans, but she would make it look so good. I don't know how to explain it. Just like, I think something in common with Hailey and Emma is that they both incorporate vintage and modern clothing together, and I think that's something that I really love to do as well. What is your go-to cozy night routine? I see you post cute cozy evenings all the time. Okay, I love this question. Let me take a drink real quick. So, cozy night routine. And here's the thing, this goes back to my past episodes where I've been talking about how my evenings, I cherish them. They're very important to me. When I get home from a long day of work, I just want to spend the rest of the day with myself and really soak up the last few hours of my day. So, I get home, I never turn on my overhead light. You will never catch me with my overhead light on, okay? I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lamps in my room that I turn on. One of them is a candle lamp, okay? A candle warmer. So I always light a candle with my candle warmer. That adds like a nice little glow. I turn on all of my lamps. I'm not kidding. I turn them all on so that it's like, it's bright in my room, but it's not overhead light bright. You know, it's not overwhelming. It's a nice subtle glow. I always put ambiance on the TV if I'm reading. So that includes like, I'll look up like Fourth Wing ambiance. It kind of just depends on what I'm reading. Then I will grab my book. I always, always, always take a shower at the end of the day. I should have mentioned this first. I am not the type of person who showers in the morning. I always shower at night because it feels like I'm washing off my day and washing off the anxieties of the day and everything that happened. So before I shower, I strip my clothes, get my robe, I dry brush, okay? I exfoliate. Hop in the shower, come out. I mostly will always put on like a matching PJ set or my favorite sweatshirt and PJ shorts. Always makes me feel put together. I lotion every night. I do an extensive skincare routine. I mean, it's not really long, but I take my time with it. You know, I want to feel everything that is making me healthy. I want to feel everything that's making me feel good. I want to feel it all the way through and just like I want to take my time with it, you know? So, once that's done, that's when I get into bed. Normally I've already had dinner by this time. I always end the night with decaffeinated green tea. It's my favorite tea. Fun fact, I used to drink caffeinated green tea before bed, and my dad one day was like, you realize you're drinking caffeinated tea before bed, right? And I was like, oh, cool. So he bought me decaffeinated. I always have tea. I either cozy up with my book or Kindle, or lately I've been loving listening to audiobooks while coloring in my coloring book. But yeah, that's the guide. Just make yourself feel comfortable. Set the scene. You're not going to feel comfortable if you don't set the tone for the rest of your night. And I end the night off with my mouth tape. Mostly I'll put my mouth tape on an hour before I go to bed. And I just have it on while I read for that hour before I go to bed. And then I always, always, always put my phone on Do Not Disturb around 9:30. And I keep it that way the whole night, and I don't get on my phone the first 30 minutes of the morning. Love my evenings. They're so sacred to me. I rarely make plans on a weekday evening anymore. Honestly, even weekend evenings anymore, because that is my sacred time where I get to wind down and relax. What is your all-time favorite book? I This is hard. I can't pick one. I'm telling you right now, I can't pick one. But I love The Alchemist by, I think, Paul, I don't remember. The Alchemist is a book that we read in high school, and it's very much just about your personal, like your journey, your life's journey. And it reminds me of like a parable, like something you would read in the Bible. I don't know. It's very inspiring. That's one of my favorite books. I also, of course, the Throne of Glass series, if I had to pick one from this specific series, I would either say Queen of Shadows or Kingdom of Ash, maybe? Yeah. I'd say over here in my contemporary romance, my all-time favorite, Daisy Hayes and the Great Undoing. Like, that book is just so freaking good. I don't know, y'all. It's too hard for me to pick specific all-time favorite book. What advice would you give to graduating high schoolers entering the real world? Oh my gosh. Don't do what I did and don't okay. Well, if you're going to college, don't do what I did. I immediately moved to an apartment. I did not spend my freshman year on the dorm, and I regret it every single day. Okay? I did not save money because the first 3 years after high school, I was living in an apartment and paying my rent. I would live in a dorm. And if I could go back, I would do dorm because I see so many of my friends who did live in the dorm, they created these lifelong relationships. And, they welcomed me into those relationships and friendships as well. But I feel like I missed out on such an experience living on campus, living on a walkable campus. Yeah, I'd say after high school, the world is your oyster, and you still, oh my gosh, when I think about it, 18 is so young. Even I'm 22. 22 is so young. When you're fresh out of high school, you're still a baby. You have no idea what you're doing with your life. And even if you do, it will probably change. There's like a 50 to 90% chance that it will probably change. And I just encourage you to mess up and try again, switch your major, try new things. Take a break from college, go back, like do everything that feels right, take chances, be open to what might happen because your life is about to change and it'll probably change several times after that too. What are your Myers-Briggs letters? Okay, I looked at this question beforehand and I had to look up what you were talking about and I realized, okay, yeah, it is one of those personality tests. So my personality type is an advocate. I'm an INFJ. T? Are they all T's? INFJ. Okay? And this is what it says. As an INFJ advocate, you possess a unique combination of idealism and insight that sets you apart in today's world. Your rich inner life is characterized by complex emotions, vivid imagination, and a deep well of empathy that allows you to connect with others on a profound level. True. You have an unwavering commitment to your principles and an intense desire to make a positive impact on the world around you. True. Your natural ability to understand and interpret the feelings and motivations of others is both a gift and a challenge. While it enables you to form deep, meaningful connections and offer invaluable support to those around you, it can also leave you feeling overwhelmed by the emotions and needs of others. You often find yourself torn between your desire to help and your need for privacy and solitude. True. Yeah, I don't know. That definitely sounds like me. I'm very empathetic, but I also I don't know. I really, you know what? All I got from that is that I act on my emotions, and all I can say is that is the truest thing ever. Do you think TikTok will stay? Yes, I really don't think we're in any trouble with that. TikTok is too, impactful on everything in the world right now. They're not going to get rid of it. I don't think they will. Should I read the Fourth Wing series? I've never heard of them till they went crazy. If you like fantasy and politics and war, yes. You have to keep in mind that the author of this series, the only other books she writes are military romance novels. So this fantasy series is also very military coded, and there's a lot of like new vocab that I did not understand, and new procedures and things that they like the characters take part of in this book that I'd never heard of. So it's fun. Like, it is so fun. I love reading this series. It's about dragons and war and everything, and that's what I love. But it can also be confusing. But yeah, I think it's a good series. I think I used to say that it's a good like beginner fantasy series, but I kind of take that back. Like, yes, the magic system is pretty simple, but all the like all the military and like the codex and the college and everything, it's a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie. What is your go-to reread for books besides TOG and ACOTAR? Okay, I have to be honest with you. I really don't do rereads that often. Um, because like I said, when I do, it's literally just ACOTAR. um, The Alchemist I've read a few times in my life. Let's see. I would reread the Binding 13 series. I read that a year ago. I would reread that, and I probably will do it again this year. Um, Call Me by Your Name I've read a couple times. That's a good one. Honestly, The Hunger Games is always a great reread, just because they're constantly coming out with new things. Like there's a new book coming soon, so I'm probably planning on doing a reread of that. What is your favorite young adult book series? I would have to say, and here's the thing, I haven't read a lot of young adult book series. Obviously, The Hunger Games is considered young adult. Um, but the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, I read that a few years ago. I think when I was like a late teenager. Can't remember. Like, I honestly think I read that at 18 or 17. The Red Queen series, great story. Love that series. Would recommend. I think it would even be fun to read now. Being older. If you were a coffee drink, what would you be and why? um, Jeez. Okay, let me think about this. I feel like I would be like a warm vanilla sugary latte, but like with a little spice. I think I seem warm and inviting, and my aesthetic and just like I'm very girly. I feel like vanilla represents that, and then just like a teeny bit of spice because I also tend to have a bit of attitude. Yeah, I think, does that satisfy your question? Because I'm not sure. What is your favorite podcast to listen to? Guys, my favorite podcast of all time is the What We Said podcast with JC and Chelsea. I'm a Valley girl for life. If you know, you know. I started listening to them probably 6 years ago. I've been there from almost the start. I love their podcast so much. I listen weekly. They do episodes on Tuesdays. I'm obsessed with them. They also do bonus episodes every other Friday, I believe. I'm their biggest fans. It's like my biggest dream to see them like on tour. Fun fact, JC started out on YouTube. She's been a YouTuber for a long time. She's been in the game. She's friends with Aspen Ovard and lots of other names that you might know. If you guys don't know them, go check them out. I also love The Skinny Confidential for more educational podcast listens. I love her. I love because it's Lauren Bostic and Michael Bostic. They're married and they interview these huge names, and they're kind of like unbiased people, so you get like a wide spectrum of interviewees, which is really cool, and I enjoy it a lot. I love the Trying Not to Care podcast with Ashley Corbo. That's another Dear Media podcast. Honestly, anything Dear Media puts out, love. Brooke and Connor make a podcast. They're so funny. I love them so much. Bookmarked with Sarah and Des is my favorite book pod. Obviously, our non-toxic podcast, my good friend Hannah McClelland did that one. Does that one? Yeah. That is like my lineup, pretty much. What are 3 products you couldn't live without? Okay. If we're talking specific products, I'm going to say, oh my gosh. Wait, that is actually the hardest question ever. Do you mean makeup products or any products? Because if I had to choose out of everything, that is so hard. Let's say makeup, my Merit Beauty complexion stick, my NYX brow glue, and my Summer Fridays lip balm. Like, you can't, like, I could literally do those three every day and I'd probably be okay. Like, I would hate it, but I'd probably be okay. Because then, I'd be missing blush. But again, I need my complexion stick. It helps really even out. I get a lot of redness on my face, so that really helps even out the tone. However, if we're talking about all time 3 products, definitely my self tan. I genuinely cannot live without that. My self tan, my press on nails, and sunscreen. I mean, yeah, my glow screen. I couldn't live without those things. Okay. What's your favorite funniest story with your current boss? Good one, Hannah. When I think about Danielle, it's hard to, like, we've been working together for so many years that it's hard to pinpoint just like certain times, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I kind of have a bad memory. And I've just realized this recently. I kind of have a bad memory because I cannot think. The funniest thing I can think of right now is whenever Danielle was super sick and she was not attending work that week. And Maddie and I got stuck outside the school without our key fobs and without our phones. So I was literally texting my mom on the iPad. And I think Maddie had like the site phone or something. She had to call Danielle, and Danielle had to come from her bedridden sickness to come let us into the building. But other than that, I can't really think of anything. Danielle would never come on the podcast. I know she wouldn't, but it would be really funny if she did. I wish she would. Which crew neck of mine is your dad's favorite? My dad likes the white one. I think the white one's a popular pick. However, the light pink ones were pretty popular in the drop. So I'm excited. Make sure you guys tag me in your merch pictures, by the way. I'm super excited to see them. Let's try to find a couple more. Thank you guys for all the questions. Any relationship advice? No. Unfortunately, no. I haven't been in a relationship in 2 years. And when I do finally like talk to a guy or like entertain a guy, I end up ghosting them, honestly, because I get so anxious actually hanging out with men, It's a terrifying thought. And I take anxiety meds every day, but it genuinely scares me shitless thinking about going on a date or like speaking to a man for the first time or meeting a man for the first time. Even if like I had been texting them leading up to it, it absolutely terrifies me, and I don't know why, but it just does. So to be honest, girl, I have absolutely no relationship advice for you other than be yourself. And with that, we're going to end this episode. Thank you guys so much for writing in. That was fun. I want to do more of those. All of your questions were very creative and fun to answer, so thank you so much. Go buy my merch. It is a reasonable price. They're beautiful. They're comfy. They're so cute. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. I'm, again, beyond grateful. I'm super excited for what's to come this year. And I'm exhausted, so I'm going to go take a short nap before work. I love you guys. And this has been a love letter from Lakin. Bye.